Well, it's time to get a bite on the Texas bucket list, and this week we're in beautiful Galveston Island to get what else but seafood at Katie's Seafood House. When it comes to getting a bite to eat down on the island, lots of folks head to the seawall. But if you venture to the Strand side of Galveston, you'll come across Katie's Seafood sitting on famous Pier 19. The same spot where Jean Lafitte's pirate ships and the Texas Navy sailed from. Who's Katie?
Katie's my mom.
Rick Gutierrez's family owns this restaurant that his stepdad Buddy named after the biggest catch he ever brought home.
You don't want to mess up your mom's name.
Yeah, so a lot of pressure there.
Yeah, there's a little bit of pressure in that. You don't want to mess your mom's name up, right? You don't want to run something that your mom's not proud of. So
yeah, don't be that son.
Right.
Thank goodness your mom's name wasn't Karen.
Yeah, that we dodged a bullet. You're right. You're absolutely right.
Now, Rick and his family didn't start off in the restaurant business. They were originally fishermen and first opened the fish market next to Katie's, where you'll find Rick's brother Nick selling fresh fish. The catch is all the fish you'll find at Katie's come straight from here.
It's a pretty unique thing to have your own boats, especially for a restaurant, and it makes a difference in the quality of seafood that we're selling here. Once it comes to shore, they're cutting it and they're getting it ready for this restaurant.
Pretty fresh.
Yeah, it's pretty fresh.
Since all this fish is fresh as it can be, don't expect to find fish from a different sea.
We got a rule here that we're only using Gulf seafood. We don't use farm-raised fish, so you won't see redfish on our menu.
It's 100% Gulf of Mexico on our seafood here.
General Manager Brett Otterman has been with Katie's since they opened in 2019.
I asked Buddy in our interview, I said, what kind of fish do you want me to write on the menu and put on the menu? He says, well, I won't know till the boat comes in. That was like a Cupid's arrow to my heart, man. I can say I'm selling the freshest fish in town.
I've been really fortunate to have him. The restaurant's been really fortunate to have him. He's a very smart guy. I really appreciate everything he's done for this restaurant.
Well, I was already hooked on getting some fresh fish, and the sizzling grouper platter has a trifecta of Texas Gulf seafood.
So the sizzling grouper platter, it's gonna have 8 ounces of grouper. It's gonna be topped with crab meat, and then it'll have jumbo shrimp, and it'll have some tortillas, and it'll have some Mexican street corns and rice and beans.
So it's like seafood fajitas.
Right.
I got one rule with that dish though. When you sit down to eat it, you gotta have the tortillas in the left hand and the fork in the right, okay?
Brett got things started by getting the fresh grouper and Gulf shrimp ready for the grill.
We're gonna baste our fish with a little garlic butter, just for the flavor.
Okay.
And then we're gonna season it with our lemon herb pepper.
Okay.
It's got a lot of herbs in it that bring the flavor out versus adding flavor in. And we're gonna char grill it just like you would a nice fajita or a nice steak.
Veggies and crab meat get sauteed, while Brett throws in one of Katie's specialties, the snapper wings.
The story is that those things came from the early 1900s on the end of this pier right here. When all the rich people from Houston would come down and go snapper fishing. The guys that would come from Galveston to fillet the fish for them would cut the throats off and the heads off and throw them in a bucket, and the people would take their fillets and go back to Houston. As soon as they left, those guys would pull those snapper heads out and cut those little throats off, and now everybody across the Gulf Coast is serving them everywhere. You can see it's got nice big pockets of meat all throughout.
The snapper is seasoned and deep fried, while the grouper plate comes together on a sizzling platter. Not gonna lie, I'm excited about this one. I didn't waste any time when it came to sampling the snapper.
Well, the frying on the snapper wing is perfect. You get that hard crunch, followed by that soft and delicious meat of the fish. That is fantastic.
The grouper platter gets one last tableside touch. A house-made butter concoction gets drenched over the grilled seafood.
That's a little Worcestershire butter that we pour over the top of it. It's almost like a New Orleans butter, but it's got a little Galveston kick to it with our own seasonings.
We're just gonna make a smorgasbord in this tortilla, I guess. A little bit of grouper, a little bit of crab, and we'll throw a shrimp in there for good measure. I gotta find a way to get some of those buttery vegetables in there too. That is beautiful. I may never get beef or chicken fajitas again.
And the food is always top-notch, good quality, and the serving sizes are, great.
No matter if it's a grouper or the crab or the shrimp, you get each flavor profile when you bite into that taco, and it is amazing. That is a holy trinity of the Texas Gulf right there. Fantastic.
You can just taste the difference in the fish is fresh, it's flaky, it's excellent.
Enjoying the three of them combined in a taco is fantastic, but each one individually is also incredible.
Well, I like seafood,
and that's the best seafood I've ever eaten.
Well, when it comes to getting some of the freshest Gulf seafood here on Galveston Island, coming to Katie's is definitely well worth a stop on the Texas bucket list.
This is excellent. Just been captured, cleaned, and ready to, eat. So it's great.
We're really proud to sell Texas Gulf shrimp and sustainable fish that we've caught. That's the goal, is to make our economy work here in Texas and to provide people fresh seafood.
Well, thanks for watching this segment of the Texas Bucket List. To see more, be sure you subscribe to our channel, and to see full episodes, become a member. In the meantime, you can also shop our store at the Texas Bucket List store and studio.